Hello everyone, welcome back to Fightish channel. Friends, before starting to watch this video, I would like to ask you to subscribe to my channel. I really want to get 10,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. Thanks for supporting me, guys. Former world champion Carl Froch shared his opinion about the rematch of British heavyweights Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte. Anthony Joshua is afraid of his own shadow. I think that after losing to Andy Ruiz, he is not the same as before. He lost twice in a row, then came back and defeated Jermaine Franklin. This fight was just a formality for him. He jabbed, moved and won. I want to see a more aggressive Joshua. He used to be more stubborn. Then Joshua would just go for the victory and finishing, Froch said. The famous Russian heavyweight Sergey Kuzmin commented on the upcoming rematch of the former world champion Anthony Joshua with Dillian Whyte. Kuzmin is convinced that the second part of the confrontation between the British boxers will be spectacular and interesting for boxing fans, despite the fact that the rivals had lost their former motivation. Their first fight ended in favor of Joshua, but before the fight there was a great heat of passion. I think the second match will be spectacular, and we will see a fight. There will be no high boxing IQ, there will be a chopping block. I'm interested in watching this fight, better than pop MMA. Boxing fans should understand that if if a person is sitting on money, Joshua has already earned a pension for his grandchildren. And why too? Boxing also motivates by the fact that you want not just to win a championship belt, but to decorate your life. And these people are already full, but we will watch their fight, Kuzmin said. Former British featherweight world champion Josh Warrington has shared his prediction for a rematch between his compatriot Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte. Josh believes that Joshua will fight aggressively, but this will play into the hands of his opponent. It's going to be a tall fight. I believe that this time everything will be much closer than in their first match. I think that AJ wants to prove something, not only to himself but to everyone else. He wants to show that he can still be an aggressive animal. This will play into Dillian's hands. Whyte likes to fight from the trenches. It all comes down to who gets his shot first. So I prefer Dillian Whyte, Warrington said. The promoter made a forecast for the sales of the Joshua Whyte rematch pay-per-view. This is a huge fight. The head of the Matchroom boxing promotion company Andy Ruiz shared his forecast regarding the sales of pay-per-view for the rematch between the British former world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua and the recent title contender Dillian Whyte. The promoter has no doubt that the fighters can sell 500,000 paid broadcasts. We haven't decided on the pay-per-view price yet, but everything will be announced from Monday. I expect somewhere between 500,000 and 800,000 paid broadcasts, something like that, Heron said. The famous British boxer Carl Frampton said that he does not see the former UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou any chance in a fight against the WBC heavyweight title holder Tyson Fury. There is talk about Fury's fight with Francis Ngannou. I don't know how people feel about this. It is impossible for Francis Ngannou to defeat Tyson Fury in a boxing match. I'm just talking about it. I saw Francis Ngannou. He is a nice big guy, a real monster, but he is not a boxer. How can a guy who doesn't box beat one of the best fighters on the planet? Some consider Fury to be the first pound-for-pound number. It's impossible. He can't beat him, Frampton said. Malik Scott, the trainer of former world heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder, commented on the words of promoter Andy Ruiz, who called his word the most overrated boxer of our time. That's the essence of the Andy Ruiz situation. If you ask him about Andy Wilder, I never heard Eddie say anything positive about Wilder, other than that he can hit. This is a given. If you ask, Hearn won't say anything good about Andy Wilder, but at the same time you can't tell him anything bad about AJ. Do you know what his answer was? He said Dante only beat Luis Ortiz, but Hearn was afraid to put Joshua up against him, and Dante fought him twice. Now the most overrated boxer in history is knocking Joshua to hell in December, Scott said. Well-known journalist Michael Benson told about this on his social networks, with reference to Fury's promoter Frank Warren. According to Warren, the contract for the next fight has largely already been agreed. As for the announcement, it may take place next week. In the last fight, Fury held his third title defense with 38-year-old compatriot Derek Chisora. The fight was completed in the 10th round. The referee stopped the fight, awarding the victory to Fury by technical knockout. On July 29th, the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas will host a potential fight of the year. The absolute welterweight champion will be determined by the holders of all division titles, Americans Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. Former welterweight world champion Britain Kell Brook shared his opinion about the fight for the title of undisputed champion in the same weight category between Americans Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. Brook is sure that the winner of this confrontation will take the first line of the rating of the best fighters, regardless of the weight category. I'm very excited about this fight. Everyone is talking about him. This is a massive confrontation for the first number in the ranking of the best fighters, regardless of weight. In fact, I would put both guys at the top of this ranking. Errol Spence is a very large welterweight, a natural lefty. He is big and strong. He has a very high IQ. Terence Crawford knows how to boxing. He is a sniper and a very good finisher in boxing ring. The fighters will need several plans for this fight. It's a real challenge for both guys, Brook said. The famous American coach Virgil Hunter shared his opinion about the upcoming July 29th fight for the title of absolute world champion in the welterweight division between Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and unlike others, did not choose a favorite, but assessed how, in his opinion, the fight could develop. I'm looking forward to this fight, especially considering that both boxers are at their peak. Both are motivated and ready to fight. I expected a historic fight. Errol has a mindset to put pressure on his opponent and not let him go for a minute. There is no point in giving up what works. In this fight, the main thing is not what everyone intends to do with the opponent. The boxer who won't let the opponent do what he wants to do will win. I like Errol and his style. With age, such an aggressive style loses speed. It is necessary to keep yourself in shape every day. Errol admitted that his lifestyle wasn't always right. It is harmful to health. Errol has a 5+ attitude and determination, said Hunter. Former champion from the USA, Austin Trout, explains very well why it is so difficult to determine the favorite in this confrontation. Personally, I bet on Crawford, but I don't like the arguments in his favor. All this talk about Spence being a basic fighter. What the fuck? Yeah, many of the greatest fighters in the history of boxing were in fact basic. You know, there are actually a lot more aspects to boxing than they say about it. And there are actually a lot more questions in this fight. According to Austin Trout, Crawford is very vulnerable at the beginning of fights. Pay attention to the fact that he constantly misses in the opening rounds. And the question is how he will hold Spence's punches. If it's okay, then I think, over time, he will calculate Errol and eliminate him. But if these blows bother him, then this is the end. Shake Spence? Have you seen him shaking before? Even the huge Jordan Ugas didn't succeed, so I don't think Terence will do it. I don't rule it out, but I still think he won't succeed. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.